The dinner is ready. You can all continue.
Yeah, I know. There are two more. Let's finish. Let's finish one minute. We have Mr. Partho Shoka.
It's been really wonderful coming and seeing so many people, some for after 50 years I'm sure, and some I have met before. St. Xavier's was great for me. I loved it all the time there. As you all know, I graduated in 1961, higher secondary, went to Hill College, Chitpur, became a civil engineer, went to America in 67, and worked in several, the university in Berkeley, California, got a PhD, and since then have been working for several companies. But and I'm still dragging along somehow. I'm married for 39 years, I guess. I have 2 boys, but that's the mundane part of reality. I guess my older son is married, lives in London. His wife sings extremely well. That's what Dilip Kaur told me to tell all of you. But besides that, and I want to obviously thank PK and Kavita and Dilip and Padmini, of course. But I want to also thank one person who got me into this because for some strange reason, I had lost contact with St. Xavier's people for over the years. Once my brother dragged me along to one of the St. Xavier's reunions, the school reunion as a whole, and I really couldn't connect up. I was totally out of touch. But in that, someone told me that your batchmate Gopalakrishna is the chief guest, so I went down there, and believe me, the person that really connected me to all of this is none other than Shotu Chakraborty. He told me that, you're not he recognized me. And then the very next day, there was PK's party. And remember, my brother dropped off and we were there, and so and thanks everybody. But it really has been a wonderful experience. And one of the other things, of course, I cannot but mention when I mention Dilip all the time. Raj was a very close friend of mine. We were at least in the final year, we were sharing the seat in Mr. Gilbert's class, so I remember Raj all the more. And of course, S.K. Nakani, I think he's doing better now. So anyway, thanks all of you.
We have Kamal Tulsidas.
Yes, my wife Nina. I would like to share something with all of you. We are what we are because of Xavier's, and we make the best friends also in school. Like myself, Vijay, Vinay Agarwala, S.K. Nathani. We still meet once a week, and that is for over 50 years. And we've hardly had any misunderstanding or any sort of problems. And we are still meeting today, even after 50 years, more than 50 years. And we make friends in Xavier's in school. Most of us make best friends in school. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kamal. Niranjan Bagchi, who's we were all very envious of this guy. He was the fellow who had his house closest to Loreto Convent.
Well, yeah, but Rama's house was next to mine, and every day he used to come to my house to pick me up. So I think it's been a very nice experience that we've all had, and I would like to thank Dilip for giving me this tie to wear today, and for BK for keeping in touch with all of us, getting everything together. In school we had a lot of experience. I don't want to go back to what I did after. There's nothing much to write home about. Kept me on the streets though. But we used to always look upon some persons in our class as well. We have to follow them. Like top here, Dilip Ghosh and Kanai, and used to say, my God, how do these guys manage everything? I think I've got to do something with their height, The shorter they are, the better they are.
Napoleon.
Something like that.
It's not fair.
But anyway, we managed to muddle through, and I was in Qatar for last 14 years and finished off with ExxonMobil, and now I'm working in Delhi out of with the Ministry of Environment. And I really cherish the time we spent in in St. Xavier's. And I want to thank every one of you for giving us the opportunity, for connecting. And thanks, Rama.
Can I call on Vijay Mundra? Not here? 12.
Back. No, Chennai.
Okay. Now, to bring up the end as befitting.
Siddiqui.
We best Mr. Raman. No, Raman.
He said
Real pleasure. I wrote down a few points which I think need to be said. First of all, of course, it's a great happy occasion for all of us, having met for 50 years, and 50 years is a long time in anyone's life. There is no end to which I can thank St. Xavier's School for the discipline, for the rigor and the robustness with which St. Xavier's has brought us. So there is no limit to that. Very difficult to thank. I am a product of the Indian Institute of Management, the third batch, perhaps the only individual to have got somehow interested in international marketing. There's a background to it. But having said that, I did my PhD in global strategy from the Wharton School, University of Pennsylvania. Sometimes you're born in the wrong time. Perhaps that was my case, because I was talking about global strategy in 1976. And when I came back to India, no one understood what I was saying. In fact, if I recall, people on Park Avenue in New York did not understand what I was saying. So when I came here, after 7 years of struggle, very interesting struggle, which probably taught me a lot in the command economy, I went back to the state with a very, very heavy heart. I had no desire to go, and that's why I visit this place at least twice a year. Two words come to, just a little while back, I think it was in June, that I spoke on a topic, which was this: reflections on a global paradox. Reflections on a global paradox. Open information, broken communication. Please understand where I'm going with it. Two words I'm bringing out there: the relationship between information and communication. That is the sad part of the reality that we call humanity in this ecosystem which has been destroyed by a very short-term perspective to life and to the gains from life. Let me also go and add a couple of other points here. Two other words which are of extreme importance, I think. These are words: connectivity and commitment. I may also remind you that I think it was last year that I had the opportunity to speak at St. Xavier's, representing all of you in the 150 years of St. Xavier's, and I represented you all, and I spoke on a subject which was communication in an era of, or rather commitment in the era of globalization. All right? So I've given you two words before. One was information and communication, or information and communication, and the other was connectivity and commitment. Here is where BK comes in, here is where Kavita comes in, here is where all of you come in. It is not enough. I think the way you would celebrate this group, which has met for 50 years, the way you would do that is to enlarge, to widen, to deepen the ripples of this communication and commitment and the ripples of this connectivity. If we do not do that, the world will continue to flounder, to founder, and to get lost in this, I would call it, age of ignorance. So please understand, this is very critical. It's not a matter of just finding happiness. You cannot contain happiness in yourself. It has got to interact and perhaps make the entire humanity a part of this, of which again I thank BK and all of you. It's a real honor for me to be here, and I hope and pray that we continue to do this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. We hear you loud and clear. We have Shuprakash Mukherjee. Shupro?
I'm sure you've heard enough speeches this evening, and you haven't.
Hey, Shupro! Hey, silent Shupro!
Can you please close this light? and then the dog had to go with us to Canada. So we took this dog, 60 pound, Kopol. He lived till 19 years old. What else? I grew up in a family of musicians. I learned tabla from Kanai Datta and eventually from Zakir Hussain. Yes. The Zakir Hussain. I love music. And what else? What other? I don't know. Oh, St. Xavier's, very important issue. When my wife was here one time, we visited St. Xavier's. And I asked my wife, I said, she's a Roman Catholic. I said, would you like to meet a cardinal? She said, what do you mean, meet a cardinal? I said, just come with me. So I went to the house next to St. Xavier's and presented my card. I didn't have a card, I just sent in a note. And Father Picacci, who had by then become Cardinal Picacci, received us. No questions asked. And my wife was very, very impressed with me.
Thank you, friends, for making this evening a very, very memorable evening and a very emotional one. Really, I didn't expect that so many of you friends will come, especially those who have come from outside Calcutta, to be here with us on this occasion. Two things I would like to stress. One thing is we have a website which has been communicated to all of you, and do have a look at that website now and then to see if any news is there from our friends. I make it a habit to post some interesting news whenever I receive it. Secondly, we have to think that we have collected some funds from today's evening, and we would like to do something for St. Xavier's, about which every one of you has been speaking so highly, and I agree with all of that. So we will get in touch with each other, or maybe we may form a small group of 5-6 people here, and who may give some ideas, and we will communicate them to you, and then we will decide after receiving your replies. And thank you again, Dilip, for making it such a wonderful evening with this Navaratri.
It's always been a joint effort, so I'm very happy that all of us enjoyed here, and it was a wonderful evening. I want to thank Muhammad for all of you coming here and having such a wonderful time and all enjoying it. Now let's have some dinner now.
Before we have forgotten the announcer to give his own introduction. After that, just before dinner, we will play the school anthem for 1.5 minutes. Sorry, Kavita, please come.
Yes, please come.
Introduce Kavita. She is the main force. She has played the main part in organizing the meetings and gatherings that we have had about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I just want to say that I've done the black thing, but over the years, how he's looked forward to all the get-togethers, and especially this one. I can assure you, over the last week, there was a big childish excitement, in him. In the last 2-3 days, he's not been thinking of anything else but this get-together.
Thank you. I will let you to a secret. Like BK and I were classmates, my sister and Kavita were classmates in Modern High School.
Oh, great.
So that makes it a very special evening for us.